You've heard it said that in order to use AMP simulation plugins, you need to buy a dedicated interface. In this video, I show you how to save money setting up your existing gear like the Pod Go as the interface for plugins coming up. Hello and welcome to the video. If this is our first time meeting, my name is Justin and I'm all about worship guitar, helping you sound and play your best for Jesus. Please consider supporting these videos and my ministry by liking, subscribing, hitting that bell notification button and heading over to my Buy Me a Coffee page linked in the description box below for my patches and more. If you've met before, welcome back. This video is sponsored by an anonymous benefactor. I got a big surprise when I opened my inbox and found an email from my iLog account. Someone had purchased a license for Neural DSP's Archetype Petrucci plugin, so to my anonymous benefactor, whoever you are, thank you for the plugin. I'll finally be able to set up a laptop rig. If you want to see how to set up a laptop rig, comment down below if you do. I'd love to see what I can do for you. The world of guitar plugins is a largely unexplored frontier for me, and I sense that many people are considering a software solution since it's somewhat cheaper than hardware solutions. I say somewhat because I'm aware of budget gear options, some of which I've covered before, but as the adage goes, you get what you pay for. The tones out of some of these budget options just aren't inspiring. Plugins offer a completely different experience, and with software companies like Neural DSP, which offer 14-day trial periods where you can see if the plugin really works for you, there's a layer of safety in not spending the cash until you're really sure this is what you're looking for. The workflow is different, so you are going to need a little hardware to get things going. It could be as simple as an IK Multimedia iRig USB interface that's not going to cost more than $100, or be courageous and snag one of those ancient Line 6 UX2s which still work to this day. But since you're watching this video, I'm guessing you already have some existing hardware lying around. And if you're a Line 6 user like I am, you already have the means to use your device as a USB interface to run plugins. For today, I'll be using the Pod Go, but the idea works across the entire M modeling ecosystem, including the Helix and the Helix LT. Step 1. Setup connections. Make sure you've hooked up your device with its USB cable and that your computer can detect it for audio in and out processing. If you're running the plugin in standalone mode, open Settings and check that your device is selected for audio inputs and audio outputs. In my case, I'm using the Pod Go, so I should see its name pop up in those fields. If you're running the plugin within a digital audio workstation like Ableton Live, the procedure is almost the same. Load up the DAW, open up Preferences, and ensure that your device is selected for audio inputs and audio outputs. Open up a track and under Inputs, select your desired inputs from the device. Step 2. Choose Dry Routing. What's really cool with Line 6 devices is that there is a pair of USB inputs that are completely dry with zero processing from the unit. In the Pod Go, the inputs 3 and 4 typically used for reamping purposes. Select those. Why is this important? If you load up inputs 1 and 2, you're going to be sending whatever is in the signal path of the device into the plugin. That sounds like I can add in additional effects. Hold on. Before you build a patch to use your favorite overdrive pedals or the expression pedal for wah and volume of your plugin, this is the major issue: USB direct monitoring. You'll be able to hear both the pre-plugin signal and the process plugin output. Now, rather than have a complicated explanation as to why this is an issue, let me just demonstrate what happens when you use inputs 1 and 2 versus inputs 3 and 4. Why is USB direct monitoring a problem? If your guitar and your plugin are in the same key, that sounds okay when there's nothing else going on with the plugin, but if I want to load up a patch like SIM, so to solve this issue, I'm going to choose USB inputs 3 and 4, which will allow me to roll back the volume pedal off the particle, so none of that unprocessed signal goes into the USB outputs, and you hear instead only the processed outputs from the plugin. Step 3. Latency balancing. The one major drawback of using plugins is latency. Unless your computer is the top of the line and can handle rapid sample size processing, you're going to have to test your tolerance for latency, balancing performance, and audio quality. Now here's where it gets a little bit confusing, because audio buffer size will refer to the number of samples being taken, and the higher the number, it's a lot easier on the computer. So the lower number that you go, you're actually getting the computer to sample more times. And yeah, I'm going to try and get my computer to glitch out. So what if I would go all the way down to 128 samples? So if you're hearing that kind of glitching, that's because the computer is really struggling to keep up with the plugin. And to help the computer and to have less of these audio glitches, you need to increase the sample size. So I will go back up to 256. Not too bad, not too bad. 256 samples seems to be the sweet spot. I can go all the way up to 512, I believe, with a 10 millisecond of latency. Not bad at all. I'll go back to 256 because that was the sample rate that I really like, because latency is barely detectable at that stage. If you've reached this step, congratulations, you're now ready to rock with your plugin using your Line 6 device as a USB interface. Which leads us to today's question of the day. Do you see yourself using software for your music, whether recording or live? Why or why not? Let me know in the comments below. That's it from me. Thanks for watching this video. If you've gotten value out of it, like it and share it with someone whom you know wants to try plugins and has an existing device that can function as a USB interface. Until next time, I'm Justin, and I'm all about worship guitar.